All right, Fran, sorry for arranging this at short notice. I know it's put a bit of pressure on. I just want to review what we spoke about earlier in the year about the learner profile and IB sports science. And the aim of this is just to discuss and decide if we feel that we're promoting the characteristics of the learner profile well in our subject. And then to decide what we do best and what we think, or what do we feel are areas for improvement. Okay, so as we go along, try and reflect on those two questions and see if we're doing some things really well and maybe we're not doing anything so well. Okay, so if we start by, if you sort of address things along the high level course, and I'll address things along the eyes of the standard level course, we'll just go from there. So if we start off with, you can choose any of the characteristics and we'll go from there.
Just start at the top.
Okay.
So yeah, for the HL stuff, we can
So reflective.
Reflective, yeah. So I can only, we've only done a few of the topics so far, what we've done so far. This year, bringing in Google Classroom
Yeah.
into the mix, and students answer their questions and they can answer what they think the answer is, but then once they have something that answer, they can then go back and have a look at everyone else's. They then have an opportunity to reply to other people as well. On there, I think some of their presentations that they do to each other in the class, I mean, I only have 8 kids, right? So it's just they all work with, make sure that they work with different pairs and then reflect back.
Do you feel that we give them enough opportunities to reflect on not only those answers but the world around them in what we do? I find it quite hard, to try and stay within the bounds of the syllabus, trying to contextualise some of the things that they study. Sometimes find it hard to get them to reflect on, the broader outlook. I definitely agree with the Google Classroom that you've adopted and that I'm sharing on. It does give them the opportunity to reflect on each other. But I sometimes struggle for ways to find them to reflect on a broader scale. Have you found any opportunities in the high level to do that so far?
I think for some of the high level stuff, there is a lot more opportunities to do that. I think that especially with hormones and with the genetics that we've just done. So bringing in the hormones, bringing in things that have happened in the Olympics last year as well. For example, the 200 metre runner, Simone, who was classified is a woman, has those hormones of, so for them to actually reflect on that and think, is it fair, is it not fair, that she was taking out the race almost. So that was kind of a really good way.
Yeah, I guess I haven't had that similar opportunity. I guess with the SL, it draws a tangent with principles. Obviously we promote academic honesty and things like that, but also we teach the Olympic code of ethics about friendship, solidarity, integrity, and fair play. And that is one of the things that we've discussed, and one of the things that has been more apparent. Is that sort of, not really the ethics, but the principle of fair play about different genders competing against different genders.
Yeah, we actually looked into that as well. And there's no rule saying that she couldn't be, just because she had more technical hormones, male hormones, testosterone, there wasn't anything to bring that.
How do you find the students have responded to, their principles? Do you think any of the students have been challenged? Have their principles been challenged by this? From one side of things, it's unfair. From the other side of things, it is fair that everyone should be allowed to compete against anyone. Have you had any of those issues?
Not really. Not as we've. I mean, that's going to be more from the IA's point of view. And I think that when it gets to kind of writing up that work, which we haven't done a little on it, I think that coming to that would be more kind of principles and knowing the rules and knowing that you can't push rules. That's been part of it. But with regarding rules, or only that one came up.
I think it makes them think, doesn't it? That there is a bigger picture out there that everyone has rights, and just because you think a certain way, that isn't necessarily the way that everyone thinks.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. What next?
so with the depth of knowledge within the syllabus, I think with the genetics that we just finished as well, like, you know, it was quite a difficult topic to approach because there were a few. So one of the girls in the class has got a brother who is Down syndrome.
Okay.
So we don't have to learn the ins and outs of it, but it was
Okay.
so it was really interesting. She was like, you know, when we were talking about different genetic diseases and things that
With the rest of the
people
class
get.
aware? Did she announce that, or?
She announced it, yeah. I don't
Okay.
think that they were aware of it.
All right.
You know, and she was quite happy to talk all about it. You know,
Yeah.
she went into lots and lots of detail about that, but just to have that background knowledge and to bring that into a classroom setting was really, really, really interesting. You know, and we're talking about genetics where obviously genetic male, genetic female coming together, and then another student put his hand up and said, well, my sister's a doctor. You know, that was really difficult to kind of, you know, so it was really kind of ethically for me as well. Yeah, so
they're great moments, right? They're great moments to.
Absolutely. So, but I found it easier in HSF to do that. There's more of those opportunities to do that rather than
I missed that. I haven't had those opportunities. I think the range of topics that we cover in sports science gives a real depth, and well, it gives a breadth of knowledge, and I think with HL you get a little bit more depth as well. So I think we do, you know, we do promote knowledgeable students. I think that is one characteristic that we succeed in terms of the learner profile. What about open-minded students?
open-minded.
Do you find that they appreciate views from around the world and outside of the Philippines or outside of ISM?
It depends. I mean, here we're in such a bubble.
Yeah.
Here in Canada, you know, there's just not much. There's not much happening. But then within the class, Korea, people from India, people from the Philippines, people that are just staying, have travelled everywhere else as well, from Norway, you know. So they've kind of brought those different cultures in at certain points. But to be honest, I've not really had a chance to explore that much. But I know that I can bring up almost anything in this class and relate it to anything, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that's.
I agree. I think having the variety of sort of input from people with different cultures, different to when I was in England, where our focus when we were teaching sports at this level, our focus was pretty much football. A lot of the guys, a lot of the girls their experiences would be through football. Whereas now we have kids that do all sorts of things. They've been involved in different activities at different schools or different environments that they've been in before. And I think they do bring a plethora of experiences for us to investigate a little bit more. And I don't find that the class is closed off to other people's activities. Having Missy who would give dance examples, that was never scoffed at as that's not as important as volleyball, and that's not as important as basketball. And then Maddie who's an actress, that's her experiences, and she was trying to bring her examples, and it was very open-minded. I think they are very good. They're in an environment at this school where there is so much to draw from other students, different cultures, different backgrounds. So I think that's pretty successful. Inquirers, this was something that I wasn't too sure of, and I thought along the lines of IAs. We give them sort of open opportunity to investigate anything they want to investigate, and aligned with risk takers really, just to let them go off to try things. Whether they succeed or fail is down to them and the risks that they take. So I sort of tied those two in together, but I couldn't really think of much outside of the IAs. What about yourself?
So just trying to think about discovery, that's the way I kind of thought about it.
Okay.
Like discovering different ways of what they want to learn.
Yeah.
So because these skills are so relatable to themselves, I found that those questions and those why questions were always, a lot of them were from the nutrition unit, from the energy stuff, because they could relate it to themselves because they go to the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of it, and there's a lot of not supplements or just wondering what people are saying, or wondering what it's doing.
Yeah.
You know, so having that kind of, that's, you know, and then obviously discovery, not actually going out and trying it, but you
But
know,
is that brought
wondering-
back into the classroom and they're asking you these questions
Yeah.
and
So it kind of got
that's
related
cool.
to creating, this
Yeah.
person is creating, you know,
Yeah.
like my older brother does. What does it do? You know, so you
My
can bring
older
it back.
brother.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But just to kind of inquire about that, and to ask questions and relating it to their own lives, and then learning about it here,
Yeah.
and then saying, oh, well, you know, I can go and tell them that it's taken a long time, or it's
Oh, okay.
you know,
Oh.
taking the wrong amount,
That's
or
good.
training the wrong way, or you know, just asking questions like that. Because I link that like to thinkers as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I did actually, I've done the same. I got inquiries, risk takers and thinkers.
So,
Did you find any really difficult to draw analogies from, or?
probably the most difficult
Yeah.
would have been caring.
Me too. I've got exactly the same.
I mean,
Yeah. I could only really think of promoting Saturday service.
right.
You know, and I
So
don't
that would be nice.
think that's a real focus of the lessons. I know it's part of school and CAS is part of part of the IB, but I couldn't really think of that'd be a stretch for me to say, yeah, I'm promoting care and characteristics in class. What about yourself?
I think going back to that genetics
Yeah.
again. So the other students listened so carefully,
Yeah.
you know, and asked really intelligent questions to what you're saying, you know, and other people came out, you know, and then I think systems or diseases,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so you've got all those other things, you know, they not just talked about the way, like the actual science of it,
Yeah.
the ethics and how
Okay.
and how they're feeling as well.
So is that similar to TOK? Those ideas sort of come out of discussions rather than being a set and planned part of the syllabus of the cert?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
like, especially recently, talking about gene doping as well.
Yeah.
More prevalent and
Okay. All right. So if we were to go back to the first two questions, if you were to pick one, what I think we're probably in agreement that caring is something that we
think about.
could think about more. It's just again, it's hard to force it in a classroom. I think.
But I do think we're lucky that the kids who have
Yes.
automatically caring.
Yeah.
So it's
I agree.
they're
majority,
very
yeah.
caring. The majority, you know, there's
Yeah.
always a bit of banter, but that's fine. But the actual caring.
Yeah.
side.
So what would you say you feel we're doing best at the moment?
Best. I think probably one that we didn't mention actually would be balance.
Okay.
Whereas, because I took that one as being linking it to different sports of
Yeah.
kids in the class. You know, so very easy gym, swimmer, we've got horseback riding, throws and jumps would be really happy to have
Okay.
as like for the projectile
Yeah.
ones, you know, just having, but then just promoting that this is a part we like,
Yeah.
a balance part.
So the things that they're doing outside of school are actually helping what they're doing and vice versa.
Yeah.
I-
I think that we do that quite well.
Yeah.
From what I've seen your classes
Yeah.
as well, that's
I think-
amazing.
I think it makes the lessons harder, and it sometimes makes the work harder for those kids that are not involved in other things. If academics their only outlet, then it's harder for them to draw analogies and sort of comparisons with what some of the other more active kids are doing. I think we do try and promote that balance as much as possible, but also knowing that it's good when we talk about stress and anxiety. In the psychological elements of the course, they know that being out exercising isn't a hindrance, but it's actually
It's
helpful.
actually helping, it's actually not just
Yeah.
listening.
Okay, so what would we do from here? Where would we move forward? Do you want to meet again before the end of the year, or
Yeah.
just to see if we can get any more evidence, and then review it maybe at the start of next year's course with next coming.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay.